Greetings, comic book friends. It is Wednesday, so it is TGIW. Thank God it is Wednesday, new comic book day. How was your Wednesday? How did you do? Let's rap about it. So, the last couple weeks, last 2 weeks, have been very good. They have been relatively small. So, can we get 3 weeks in a row where we come under target? Can we do that? Well, the answer is no. No, we cannot. We can blow by that target by a fairly wide margin and start rethinking all of our life decisions. So here we are. Let's see. And here's the thing. Every one in here in this pile is a banger. So I'm not. I don't know. Ugh. It happens. There's some stuff that's getting over. Some is limited series. So as long as I don't replace those limited series, which we know I probably will. I don't know. It is what it is. No going back now. What do we got? Alien 11, great book, a lot of fun. If you have any interest in Alien, then you should be reading this book. I think it might not be for everyone. I suppose I do have a friend who is really into the Alien franchise but doesn't like this book. But I think it's at least worth checking out if you are into Alien. I really enjoy it. Maybe it's just because I love seeing stuff with that property and I just like being in that world. I don't know, but I have legitimately enjoyed all the stories so far, so it's worth considering. Aquaman 3. I think I kind of gave my general feelings about this series, at least so far, that it's Aquaman. It's starring Arthur and Jackson, but it definitely feels more like a Jackson book so far, which is fine. I like him as a character, as in Aquaman, but I would like to see it at least more balanced. Arthur is my Aquaman. He will always be my Aquaman. I love Arthur. I think Jackson's cool. I think he has an interesting backstory. I just think that Arthur has a little bit more interesting backstory with the being king disposed multiple times at this point, and his relationship with Atlantis in general. I just like to see it a little more balanced. Berserker 8. It sure feels like it's been a while since we had a Berserker, but it's good. I don't know how many issues this is supposed to be. 8 feels about right for this type of thing, but I don't think it was that close to the end. So I'm not sure on this one, but it is a good book. I don't think it quite lit the world on fire that it was kind of expecting, or some people were expecting it to. It's very, very good. I would go as far to say that it's great, but popularity-wise, it didn't light the world on fire. So it might be something that it's okay for you to wait for, trades or whatever. I really like it. I think it's worth getting in individual issues. But mileage may vary. Mileage may vary. Wendigo, I'm sorry. I got to take your shark away from you. I know it's your favorite thing in the world, but you're going nuts back there. I love you. Let's see. Hulk Grand Design. So I Madness. What was the first one? The first one was Monster. So is there only going to be 2 of them? I don't know. Anyway, the first one was great, so I said I want the rest of them. If the rest of them might just be this one. I don't know. But I'm super excited to read that. I've towards all through the first one, it was referring to stories I've already read And towards the end, it was starting to refer to stories that I'd read very recently, which was a lot of fun. So I'm really excited to pick that up. Pick up where I left off reading it with the last issue. Silver Surfer Rebirth, number 4. I think, last time... So Jack of Hearts is in here, but he's also in She-Hulk being super cool. This... I guess I'm kind of the same point I was last time. This isn't quite the book I was expecting it to be. But, so in retrospect, I probably would not have picked this up and just let it go. But a Rebirth issue, when they put Rebirth on there, I don't know. To me, it presumes that it's something very, very important. And it doesn't really feel that way. Something is Killing the Children, number 22, which I managed not to talk to James Tynion IV about when I when I spoke with them at PlanetCon this last weekend. I'm sure it was probably a breath of fresh air for him to not have to talk about this book, like I'm sure everyone else that came up in line was asking about and getting signatures on. But yeah, my feelings towards that book is very well documented. Thor 24/750. I don't think 750 is a very notable number to make a big deal out of. Funeral for an Allfather. Spoilers, I suppose, right there on the cover. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with Thor. It's kind of in the same boat as Hulk is. I'm going to read through this Thor-Hulk crossover and decide from there if I want to keep either of them. We have Demons number 2. So this is a recent pickup. Obviously, it's only number 2. But I read the first issue, and it seems like not that long ago. Maybe 2 weeks ago. But I really, really liked it. So I went ahead and added it. It's Scott Snyder. Yeah, Scott Snyder, Greg Capullo. So it's got a great team behind it. I thought the story was interesting. So I decided to pick it up. We'll see if it continues to be, to deliver. I feel that lately, more than often, I've been getting books that where I based upon an issue 1, I think it's one thing and it ends up not kind of delivering in the end. Let's hope that this one does. But I did really like the first issue enough to go ahead and pick it up, which is, again, is something I'm trying to avoid doing. But it was just one of those, like, this is so good. I don't know if I could not. Saga 58. It's Saga. I think since its return, it's been really good. It definitely feels like another chapter in the overall, saga, I suppose. But it's been really good. If you're not reading Saga, obviously it's not really a jumping on point. They do refer to a lot of stuff that happened in the past. Now, it definitely is, if you haven't read it, it's definitely worth going back and collecting the trades and reading it and then maybe starting to pick it up. But it is a very satisfying book, a very good read, and continues to be so. I think it kind of lulled a little bit in the, I don't know, probably would have been 30s to 40s maybe. I was getting a little bit exhausted on it, but I'm kind of back in it. So this one is weird and a bit of a problem. Batman Beyond the White Knight number 2. So I really, really like the White Knight, Sean Murphy's White Knight books. I have all the previous ones. I've read them. I enjoy them. It's a fun, alternate universe take on the characters. So I do get all of these. Unfortunately, I didn't see it in the solicit, so I didn't add it to my poll. And when number 1 came out was when I was away in Sweden, so I didn't get it off the wall. And so number 2 came out today, and I saw it, so I didn't know it was coming out yet until today. And apparently, number 1 was short printed a little bit, and there's also like some first appearance in there or something. So that kind of sucks. I went ahead and picked up number 2 and added the rest to my poll. So I am in need of a number 1. So if anyone out there has a number 1 they're willing to get rid of for a reasonable price, please let me know. I would like it not to sell it or whatever. I want it in my collection because I have all the others and I want to read it. Otherwise, I might have to go to eBay. I do believe they're coming out with a second print, which I may end up doing. I would rather not. I really don't like second prints. I don't know. It's again, it's one of those OCD things. I like the set to be uniform, so all first prints. So anyway, if you have one or have a lead on a reasonably priced one, please let me know. Joker number 14. So, I mean, this is wrapping up. I don't know if this is the last issue. Every time an issue comes out, lately it said like, I think this is the last issue. It ends up not being the last issue. So I don't know. I'm going to stop guessing. I had my friend at one of my stores look it up, and I thought that they had said 13, so I thought I had it looked up, and it was definitive. Yes, 13 is the last, but now here we are with 14, so who could know? But it is wrapping up, so it should be done soon, if not here. Don't quote me on that, because, again, I don't know. But, again, my overall take on that has always been it definitely feels more like it's a Jim Gordon book than a Joker book, but a Joker title probably sells better. Punisher number 2. The first of this was great. I'm real excited to see where this is going. I have no idea. I have no idea where this could possibly be going from the end of that first issue. So I'm super, super excited about this. Going to be one of the first books that I read tonight, probably. Silk 4. So I did end up picking this up, putting this on my poll. I had picked up 1 through 3 off the shelf, and I continued to like it, so I decided to add it. It also kind of scratches that or fills that Spider-Woman hole in my poll. I don't care about Silk as much as I do Jessica Drew, but I do think she is a fun character, and the book has been good so far. So I just kind of basically looked at it as swapping one for the other since Spider-Woman ended, unfortunately. Very unfortunately. It was a very, very good book. But we got 21 issues out of it, and that, I think, is actually pretty surprising that it got that far for a character like that. Not because it wasn't good, but just because it's not one of those big characters that a bunch of people care about. Swamp Thing number 12, or Swamp Thing season 2, as they're calling it. So it's been good. Obviously, it's been good enough for them to extend it. It was originally going to be 10 issues, I think. They extended it to 16, so with a bit of a new story. So I'll always read new Swamp Thing. Always, I love Swamp Thing. Okay, so Robin 13, which is evidently Shadow War Part 4, which I don't have 1, 2, or 3. So I will read this, try to gather what I can out of context, and figure out what's at least going in this book. And then, I don't know, it's probably going to happen again in a Batman title. I hate this. I hate them splitting this. Like, I don't want to buy these other books. I'm sorry, I don't. But I also can't skip this because then I'd have a gap in the collection. Whatever. All right. So 100%, the first thing I'm reading this week is Amazing Spider-Man. So Amazing Spider-Man Legacy 895. It seems kind of strange they didn't wait for 900 to make 900 when they renumbered it. But I guess this way they get to do a big celebration for number 1 and a celebration for number 900. I guess they get to double down on that. But really excited to see where Spider-Man goes from here. I feel like, the Beyond story arc wrapped up very nicely. He kind of has a clean slate to move forward with. Everything from the previous volume is, for the most part, I think, settled. So we can kind of go from here, and the world's our oyster, the world's Zeb Wells oyster, I suppose. And he can kind of start fresh, which I'm excited to see where he goes. Because I did the stuff that he did in the previous volume, I did enjoy. So real excited for that. And lastly, Last Ronin #5. Another book where it feels like it's been a fairly long time since the previous issue came out. So I'm having a hard time remembering exactly what happened in the previous issue. But I do know that I have continued to enjoy it. Another one of those where if you haven't been reading it, it might be tough to get. Well, it might not be that tough to be able to catch up. Because there were a number of reprints of #1 for there's the director's cuts and second, maybe third printings. But I'm sure it will all come out in some sort of collected edition as well. But this, I think, if you are any sort of fan of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, this is a must read. It's very, very good, very touching. Highly suggested. All right, so that is it. No extra little stuff or anything. It's just I couldn't. It's too much. It's too much as it was. So it ended up being just the books. Also, this next week, I probably won't have a video going up this weekend or next Wednesday, or TGIW for next Wednesday, as I'm going to be out of town again. So I probably won't be able to post. But that just means when I get back, you get another double TGIW for that week and the week that I missed. Yay, maybe. I don't know. So that is it. Let me know how you did. Was it a big week for you too, or was that just me? Was it just a big week in general? I don't know. How'd you do? What are you looking forward to that's out there? What do you think is looking to be kind of a stinker? Is there anything that you're looking to or thinking about dropping? Let me know in the comments right after you like and subscribe if you haven't already, or hit the notification bell or any of that other stuff. Yes. Yes, that is it. And of course, don't forget to make yours Titan. This video was brought to you by Titan Comic Pressing. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Titan Comic Pressing LLC.